let's see when this starts. 18 seconds, 20 seconds. I never know how that works. Anyways, guess. Hello, little folks. Now let's start. Hello, little folks. Welcome and welcome back. I'm Gnomes, and this is another day of world building. This stylized, low polygonization of Dorothy for Sci-Fi story 3D animation project. Okay, so here, yes, I have some soundtrack. Feel free to get your own. I cannot share this, unfortunately. Actually, it's sharing. Sorry, folks. Have to fix that. Yeah. Alright, so feel free to listen to anything. Let's go here immediately to our project. So this is Dorothy, and she has no mouth because this mouth rig will be on a different system, some sort of boolean probably. And so here on this stream I'm going to work on some improvements on the mesh, on the cloths, and I'll show you what remains actually. And UVs of the clothing, especially the costume, maybe some patterns that could be achieved easily with some texture. I think that will be nice. Complement to this procedural texture that happened here. Very simple stuff. Actually, this is yeah, so this was actually just the workbench, right? So this is not how it should look. The final look is actually something like this, and here I'm already having the compositing. So anyways, can say always here if I want, but yeah, it looks better. But it's not question here. We are working, right? Working on, so maybe just on camera for now. So what I need to be doing here, let's check my list here just a moment. So UV unwrap clothes, only pattern one, so I want to make some pattern the clothes. And propositions here for this is this, yes, seam, texture, shirt, skirt and cloak. Yeah, so basically the cloak can receive some patterns of texture paint, something that, I don't know, I'm imagining something like dragon stuff like that, right? Curvy stuff. It can be very creative on that. I really, but I would like that some, actually I've been visualizing, even here would be nice to have something like, there's the only thing that and here maybe some diagonal things. The problem is that, oh yeah, there is a problem. The problem is that this is mirrored, and yeah, I don't want to break that mirror modifier yet, so this could be a problem for this texturing plans, but it can still be achieve some good stuff symmetric. Yeah, let's try symmetric first, and then if I want later I can try something else after some mirroring. I don't know, yeah, with mirror modifier the UVs are dependent on that, so I don't think it is possible to achieve different. So let's start with the texturing idea. So alright, so let's start with the shirt maybe, or the cloak. The shirt, it seems to be simpler, so I can maybe just hide some stuff here to start working on that. And so here I've got to UV that. I can start with some seaming, so I could make a seam here, mark seam, and maybe that is just enough, right? So I don't need the breast, need any kind of seaming. Then about this thing here, if I seam that, of course that will make things more, I would avoid overlapping, right? But these are different materials, right? So okay, so all that use clothing, yeah, so I need a image texture for this. Yeah, so this is, I usually find very confusing, but but I think that's the idea. So where I have clothing, and there's many places, I should make this a single UV, right? A single image texture actually. So let's see here. Yeah, let's mark sim here then, just to keep organized. Mark sim, and let's get this UV editing. Which kind of object is that? No, I don't want that. So is there some clothing search? No, there's no clothing here. So then let's build it, right? So basically let's go for the, yeah, this is the UV. So let's undo this. This is very wrong, so let's just, can I just pick the material? L for the material. Yes, this is done. Then if I UV unwrap that, because the idea here is that I just want to unwrap this, and reason why is that, yeah, so this is the shirt, and I want the shirt to have a special texture image, so that's why very regular thing. But there is something that, because I'm reusing the same material cloth, the problem here would be how can I achieve the same amount of, yeah, so I'll have like to have all pieces of shirt of cloth that exist everywhere. Maybe I can make some differentiation, but for example, these ones, maybe I don't want the material, so instead of having this cloth, it will be like something else. Yeah, that might be a good idea. So I'll just use this for those kind of clothing that I want the patterns. So maybe the boots, high-heel boots, maybe the shirt and the skirt. Yeah, so there's only three elements. The boots will be a bit more complicated, I think. And so let's start with this. So here I've already UV unwrapped, so this is very simple, although this seems to be inverted, right? So let's try to simplify this. I'm not sure what it is, so it doesn't matter. Let's add a new here material. So I got it cloth, right? Cloth texture. Is that enough? Usually let's do something twice, and starting black. So here I need the shading, because the cloth of this material, yeah, material cloth, doesn't have a, this is not being used. No, actually this is what I'm using. Yes, so I'm using this, but I need to get the color there. So let's get the Shift A texture, image texture. Let's add this cloth. That'd be better if I called it cloth pattern. Cloth patterns, yeah. Right, so I'm gonna save here. It's not saved actually. Let's see, linear, closest, flat, repeat, no, not repeat, so extend, I think. No, repeat, I don't know yet. So then generated UV, no, single image. Yeah, I think single image file. And then okay, let's get the control T of that. No, control T, mapping UV, what is generated. Here I'm not even sure. No, single image, yeah. Texture shirt, yeah, I had a texture shirt. I don't know what that is. It's probably junk. Does it worth checking even? Okay, I'm going to save. Actually, let's save on a new file here. Retro 8. Alright, then. Okay, this is empty. This is the image editor, right? So here is there. Yeah, lots of things are old here. Should just delete them. Shirt. No, skirt. Oh, this is skirt. Alright, so let's look at that. What that is like. Yeah, no, this is junk pattern, so can probably just. Then it has a principal shader, that diffuse mix shader, the same thing. This is useless. So this is the clothing, and as I connect this to base color, it stops being white. Yeah, so this is not exactly what I want, I think. How that would be achieved. Oh, actually, yes, I see. Oh, yes. Okay, so maybe this is the base color, yes, white. And then it gets mixed there with this diffuse thing. Why is this diffuse thing? Is that really even required? Why this color here? This is not even. Yeah, let's shift this and copy this material, this color here. The diffuse shader here, does it help anyhow? So yeah, so okay, so it has the white color that might be good for diffuse. The color here, so if I mix this here, not sure why I need a principal BSD, maybe just for giving the. Yeah, actually I would like the FAC thing, right? So two materials and something that, yeah, I'll have a different sort of node there that will affect. So I'm gonna draw the pattern, right? So I need a grayscale thing. Oh yes, I can make the pattern. Okay. So no, it's not that. So basically, let's pick this back. Maybe putting this here. This will be the pattern color, which could be anything. So what the pattern that I'm drawing will not be an image, a normal image texture. Instead of this, it will be non-color thing. So I'll use those mask things, right? And so here can immediately try to create this thing as I go to the texture painting, right? but I don't see anything here for some reason. So let's just go on texture painting here. And okay, now we see. And why I thought I painted that black. Well, it's a known color thing now, so in this way I've decided. Though originally I didn't thought of giving I thought of giving this special color, but then I just have to edit this thing. So this will go according to the, yeah, so let's take off this saturation, or actually the, how does that work? Yeah, I think that's it. So I just changed the value here. And same here. So basically the pattern I want to paint in, I think X, change that, yeah, swaps. I can paint all in black to start with, so that will be, oh, of course, paint. So let's just get a bucket fill, everything in here. For some reason it's not working. Bad place to work with. Why have this wrong color? Okay, so nothing is working here for some reason. It's not painting. Strange. Oh, lack of string maybe. No texture here. What's going on? Okay, maybe this is not the texture image of the, maybe it's this known color thing. No, still doesn't have a texture image. Cloth patterns, yeah, this is the right one. Maybe this is this organization here. Yeah, okay, it's not the mask. It just doesn't recognize the texture there. So there's no texture for the cloth material. The cloth material is this one. I was trying to get it. Yeah, F3 shader. Alright, so let's try to, yeah, this is diffuse, let's delete that, so ignore all that. Let's just pick the, yeah, let's make a new image texture. Okay, now I have some, so here is cloth patterns, and it doesn't, single image, what's the difference? Flat linear repeat. Generated. Okay, so it's something about single image that it is not understanding. So I don't know, but that doesn't matter. If I can paint that, then this is enough. Then I bring this here, can delete this, Control T, and then I can, yes, totally work with that. Let's get the brush here and start. Also, let's horizontal split that. Shift 3. I want the no Shift F10. That is the material. Okay, color patterns. Oh, it is black. So this is how, and I can probably save this as it is. Oh, it doesn't. Maybe that is why it was not a single image, but it makes no sense to me anyway. So let's save it in characters, Dorothy, template Dorothy. Yes, let's call it not Dorothy skin, but Dorothy cloth. Yeah, patterns. Alright, so if I get 9 and X, there we go. So here we can start to paint some patterns. I've got the how do you call it, the stabilizer, so that should help in getting. I'm just a little out of ideas, but we'll figure out something of interest. I will eventually, so just need to so it's not, I don't want something super fancy, it's just something that is will get interest out of. Yeah, so like this heart shape might be very cliche, but that might be already something. No, why this is not showing enough variation? It is showing variation of stroke, so I have a lot of resolution from that texture image, so that should be fine to explore some variations here. Certainly, I just testing out some stuff here. Not eventually that might be good. These look like feathers, right? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Here we can also explore some question, should I get some patterns here as well, or on this part? Yeah, maybe just on this part. Then here, what about this one? I'm being too strict. Actually, this kind of stuff could be way more chaotic, and yeah, and then I can probably play with the opposites. And we can leave some gray. I can leave some gray scales that can also be interesting. Can lead to interesting effects. I'll be looking at that better as I go back to the shader. Whatever I do, however, I need to try to get some harmonious shapes. It's not so easy to paint this, to texture paint like that directly. There's some stopping, interruption of the, yeah, there are a lot of lagging. It's not so easy to get those regular, not necessarily regular, but yeah, the shapes. There's a lot of extra challenges which arise from this kind of digital work. And but if we can survive these limitations, technical limitations, maybe there's way to improve that, but I have tried many things. This is natural way, it's just not so simple. Yeah, so you see that this black things is actually interesting. Maybe I reduce the strength so that, let's save here the asterisk there, never knew, means that the image is not saved. It reminds me asset library and the asset browser. I think that has us now, apparently it looks like it have a similar, the same idea of the asterisk. Here I would like to have more string here. Okay, let's see what this will generate now. I'm curious to see if that is yeah, that's much more interesting, certainly. Yeah, totally more interesting. But we need to connect this to the shader, right? So this, no, not to the shader, but to the FAC, right? So here, and that this we connect here. Okay, so this is the idea. I think it's the inverse here. Yeah, so what's happening here is that this goes on the first shader. That's not what I thought, but okay, that goes first, the clot and the diffuse. Though it could be the other one, but the diffuse is good because the clot is just like that, the diffuse thing. And then the other pattern, this is the pattern. It can have something more vibrant, so it can be anything. So what can be maybe some red tone thing, yeah, so, or golden, I don't know, some orange like stuff, bluish stuff. No, let's go for some wine stuff, and it could have bump and all that craziness. So roughness, let's maybe increase some metallic. It could be some sort of shining thing. I'm not sure if that gonna work. Yeah, with some lighting, but it's very bad the way it works. So let's try to do some arbitrary stuff there. So let's reduce the roughness, so it will be something more shineable. Alpha, I don't think alpha has any. Let's see with the, yeah, the alpha makes it strangely looking, crispy aspect that I don't know. Not changing the IRF, or maybe I should. .5 with the approximation of glass. Yeah, so that's any other value here. Germanium. one vacuum and air, and this is metal, more like metallic stuff. Yeah, so maybe not so much into glass, but something like that maybe. So this is there's some cut here that is not looking interesting. Yeah, some darker color might be nice, right? Okay, something like here. Too reddish maybe, a little more to the greens. And let's see. Yeah, there's the bump idea. That could create, but that will be a bit heavy. But let's see. Vector bump, if I remember how that is used. Like I get this into the height, or it's alpha, I think. No, maybe, hold on. No, it's not alpha, it's just the color indeed, but the color is non-color. Does that do any difference? Yeah, it does. What is this? No, nothing here. Then it gets the bump. This usually is lower and normal. No, it's not strength, it's distance, I guess. I don't know, I'm not getting the effect. Yeah, this doesn't seem to be doing. Probably I'm doing something wrong, but this is not super important. I just want a simple pattern, and this seems to cover it. So there's another idea. Maybe I can make this much maybe bluish color. Some pale, very pale color maybe. Yeah, can't decide which a single pattern, but middle term maybe, that's just towards the wine. Yeah, now let's leave that. Yeah, more a neutral color. Let's try now the more roughness to this, not a lot, but Okay, and then I can return to this and let's try to now paint this stuff with some more, yeah, with real-time okay, but for some reason I'm not able to see what I'm doing. Okay, I've selected this texture paint, brush. Oh, it's the opposite, of course. There we go. Yeah, maybe, yeah, no, blurring this is very hard. Takes a lot of time. No, it is working, just if not use a very big blur. Oh, hold on, yeah, it lags. But Blender 4.2 seems to have improved this feature, so it doesn't lag that much. But I like the shapes that I have, the texture, so blurring is not, will not be that, only on some areas that are too visibly bad. Yeah, I need, let's try this then. Yeah, this one may be the best one to work with for some patterns here. Can we do something that goes like inside there on the, yes, we totally can. It doesn't, it's not terrible. It's actually, it actually works, right? Let's save here before this crashes or whatever. I was trying to avoid to go into the edge, right? But it seems to be actually an interesting idea. It doesn't compromise the design. On the opposite, this is actually quite beneficial. Yeah, it is like I'm exaggerating a little, so I have to be a bit careful about the exaggeration of the patterns, because now I'm having these colors everywhere and it's like I don't have a white shirt for her anymore. yeah, so this sort of aligns with the idea, a little with the idea of some dragonish design, something like very curvy, very, that has some interesting flows. There's too much flow here though. Well, yeah, at least that looks like an interesting piece of unique clothing, right? So if I just could make these shapes here a bit more interesting. It's hard to pick these darker colors. I don't know, I'm failing to. The cool thing is that we can have even something that is not very precise, that is just chaotic, and it still will look nice. Of course, some patterns might be nicer than others. Certainly, right? So it's looking like alien. Also, the color is a bit too looking flesh, muscles stuff, right? Sort of scary. And let's make some. Okay, I have enough here with displaying. Let's see what I can do with this with the shading now. So if I have these, let's try to change it to some. Yeah, the metallic, I think I'm gonna ignore. Roughness, maybe I just skip the maximum roughness. Reset this, and this alpha, I'm not sure if that will be any beneficial. Yeah, maybe this should be diffuse in the end. Let's try to make something different here. So if I have okay, I made an inversion here. So let's try to get this the diffuse being the patterns now. So I'm picking the diffuse color, changing the now this means that the top is the clothing. This is back to the, yeah, all right. Okay, now the patterns are the diffuse rate. Yeah, this is nice, but there's having some strange effect there, which I'm not sure why they are happening. Let's see. Let's try to, I just want to render this and see what happens. Okay, the sort of dirty thing, diffuse like stuff, right? So what if I get two diffuse shaders then? So like, oh, that is nice. Okay, so if I get approximative colors, maybe you can get a better result. So like, for example, if this is white and this is like that, yeah, so this is too weak for the patterns. Maybe I should just get okay, not that bright, so just something like that. Grayish to more green, more red, a little more of blue, and darker. Yeah, no, not good enough, but it could work, but I want something stronger. Let's try to again. Let's see the difference here. No, I barely see any difference here. So yeah, I think I can go with let's do the inverse. No, because I want the shirt white anyways, so patterns black. This might be interesting. Bluish are nice though, yeah. There are other parts of the character that maybe this kind of sort of purple dark. And now yeah, with same roughness, that's fine. Though the color here can be, yeah, can be white. Pure white. And then we have this, yeah, this is okay. Let's return to the image texture. I'm going to play with this. Let's see what happens. Wow, what is this? That's what I so no, that doesn't work. So let's skip the non-color thing. And let's go, what about this? Extend, clip, repeat. No, that doesn't seem to matter. Generated, no, and single image. Hold on, it's a terrible mistake. Alright, so yeah, let's continue here. and do more, try to regulate this a little more. What's the camera is doing here? Let's go far. Yeah, so I want to simplify this. The idea have maybe, instead of having so many, I want to get a stronger, how do you say, yeah, that I want to have a stronger, more more contrasting on that. One solution, of course, would be, yes, why I'm not thinking about that, we can, of course I haven't thought about it because I'm not thinking on too much on shading. I don't have a lot of experience with that, so here just enough to try out some experimental stuff. So here, very basic though. So color ramp, I can probably edit this, not edit, I can, what's happening here? Yeah, so I can probably adjust this with the color ramp, it will be much better. Yeah, so I can totally get, not constant, yeah, constant would be nice, but that's too broken. Let's try something that is linear is fine. Gradient, ease, B-spline, linear seems, let's compare with ease. Maybe ease is the best, yeah. So yes, we can have some sort of, not too sharp, not too blurry. And yeah, I can try to follow the pattern of the shirt in some way as I progress on this. And can also try to do the opposite, right? There's too many pollution. Let's clean up some stuff here first. Yeah, let's clean up and retake after, now that we've got some better idea of what can be good and bad. So let's try to reuse some shapes here. Alright, good, so X, let's start with this. Maybe just a little, not B-spline, not constant, gradient, no, ease, so there's linear and ease. Yeah, ease seems to be the best, so let's save here, Alt S, no, doesn't work, only works if we are, okay, hovering there, that's acceptable, good to know shortcut. Yeah, I can have some sort of line like that. Here I want actually the other color. So here, let's see what we can do. Okay, so this will be very difficult to get exactly the best shapes without a lot of retakes and very precise artwork, but it is possible to have an approximation of good shapes, so that's what matters. So just getting something roughly interesting and regular. Yeah, we can play with those patterns and try to reach some special style as we keep those different. So you see there's some wavy things here that makes sense, so that I can try to keep this because it's easy to achieve after some tests. Then let's try to get this stuff reconnected here. yes, so maybe it's super polluted already, but that seems to be working for just let's clean up this part here. Let's make more white here. There's no need to be all this this density here, so just getting some alright, maybe a last approach here. Yeah, some cuts here are not really need to be that rough. Oops, there some terrible mistake. I think this is going on the other side, right? No? So how did that happen? I don't know, but looks like I've lost some work here. Let's try to recover. Yeah, so I can play with areas that are more dense, like here, and some areas that are less dense that might be yeah, and then there's I keep disrupting the other side on some occasions, which is very bad. But I don't see how that is happening. No, I don't like that. Okay, maybe that can work already. And let's trick here. And alright, I don't know, that looks okay. Though it's too much, maybe there's something that I can try here. Ah, there's an inversion. And can I do something here? Add more. Oh, that's interesting too. So I get the middle in some form here. That might be actually a very interesting solution. So that I get the now this one is better. So it's like when the inner part is darker, it's grayscale, but so it's, yeah, that sort of solves many problems. So this will become a very smooth color, and this is the center that for some reason is white, so I don't, okay, and that becomes the contour, right? And they can have some variations there, so it really looks some sort of watercolor effect. And we can improve this. Yeah, so this is, oh yeah, this is really good. Okay, so that is the kind of pattern that I want. Of course, not as I want smaller shapes, but I don't know how to, if I can reduce them in some sort of scale. Let's see here. Hold on. Something went wrong. No, it's all good. No, okay, so not from here. Rotation, does that? Okay, this is not point texture. Oh, interesting. Yeah, not exactly the if I can lower the texture, what does that do? No, it's flat. Box sphere. no, flat, closest, cubic. No, it's not repeating though, so I don't know why. Closest for the style that I need, low poly. Single image generated, is that? No. Okay, single image, then we are back with the yeah, then I have this problem here. Okay, let's load here. I don't know what that's about. Okay, back with the pattern, good pattern here. And now I need to, let's no, just leave it like that, it doesn't matter. So here I'm not gonna touch those things, but here maybe there's something else, like I don't know, some vector or converter, some math, something that can exaggerate what I already have. Yeah, so let's go on the, so this is adding, subtract, let's have to try out. What is this oh, it's multiplying the ramp, color ramp, right? Yeah, no, I don't know exactly what would, cannot think on any particular. So because this is relational, of course, so mute. Yeah, I'll delete that, ignore that. So let's just fix that again. So this is the cool pattern, that's enough for me. You can paint on top of that, so that will be the coolest thing, right? Yeah, let's try to paint on top of that. Actually, just check if there's any change here. No, here is just I don't see change here happening. Why is that so? Anyways, this is fine. And here, okay, let's try to paint this once again. So this is the whole thing. Texture paint. We are back here. Let's see. Ah, we can make some crazy spot, right? Yeah, look at this. I don't know why they take time to appear, but once they appear, that's really, really crazy. And I have the radius with the sensibility, but it's just not getting, and it merged like that, so this is insane. I think this is not even so easy to get to work in a 2D software, right? it automatic, yeah, so I don't even need to repaint. It's just like, just do that, keep doing that, and I would say this is perfect, of course, but that's really crazy. I was expecting to get something good, but this was a surprise, right? And then we can do this too. So and yes, that will also generate those shapes, right? Those black contours, darker contours, right? So it's very sticky. But it takes time to update. X to swap, right? I'm really in awe with this thing. This is really cool. I expect to do something cool, but not. This is really quite fancy tool to have at hand, and it's really not super complicated to set up, right? Not totally sure. Yeah, it's just the color ramp with this kind of special settings, and the diffuse the non-color image texture. Yeah, a graphic palette to have this sort of easy access to some radius, how to say, size pressure of the brush. So I can do this everywhere, right? Anywhere that I want. Sick, as some people say. Then you have this crossing stuff here. Now that's too much, right? So I need to make some cleanup of that. Yeah, this could we could stay here forever, right? Doing these patterns, but I'm just gonna try to complete here in some try to get the final shapes here. Whichever stroke we do here, if it's not, it's actually highly qualified, right? Very hard to not do something of interest if you just have the good sense for composition or luck. Hazard, right? artistic hazard, which in Portuguese we call acaso. I don't know how to translate that in English. And so here I think that is to be enough. Can we make some specific? And then this looks like those dresses, like those dress with patterns. Yeah, and if we know how to draw logograms, that will be like painting, right? Can make some Chinese thing here. It's a bit slow here, but I think I can do something of that kind. Let's see. If maybe I reduce the... Can I do this here? Let's see. I just don't have space to do it, but... Oh yeah, I need to paint on the black, right? So let's change this stabilizer, right? So it's too strong. Let's reduce this here and here. Maybe that will be, yeah, this shift will blur, I think. Yeah, shift blurs. Let's try something here. Let's also blur this, because this was maybe more of a mistake. Let's yeah, let's paint this black again for a moment. Let's see. All right, let's say we have this, then yeah, let's do something easy, right? So just to see the result, right? This is day. Yeah, it's ugly, but it works. So sort of. So if I can just get to control this, right? I could do something like that. Yeah. Very, very feasible, right? So this looks like the Chinese dress, I don't know. Then we can do the opposite too, as already mentioned before. Yeah, but if we do that, overdo this in some, without a plan, it's very easy to make something, to destroy some interesting achievements made before. So you need to be a bit careful not to disrupt good results. It's funny how it takes time to load on the shading. Yeah, here I think I've overdone. It's difficult to see on the other, right? Let me undo some stuff here. And here, and then retake. Erase some stuff. Now this starts to remind me some mineral patterns that I've seen a lot studying geology on rocks. Then when we see on the microscope, optical microscope, we start to see patterns like that, yeah, of minerals that compose rock. They start to create lots of abstract shapes that are incredibly beautiful. Patterns which are not actually random. They have some, they may look random, but everything, every single detail there has a reason to be, even though to calculate that there's no senseless. We don't have the power to do that, but we can. Some patterns, of course, they have a specific meaning that is relevant to, that can be tracked to something technical, right, in geology. But most of the patterns we just don't care about. We just care about what is diagnostical or give some reasons, so that have some geologic implication that is understandable in our current literature. So not every pattern is of immediate interest to the geologist, the mineralogist, and all that stuff. Nonetheless, there are patterns everywhere. So even if we can identify them, it doesn't mean that we can read them in a constructive way. In arts, of course, it's much different. In design, in the arts, all the patterns can be, we are free to, or sort of, we have more, it's more expected to be able to read patterns. But then the human patterns are certainly more complex than nature patterns. Humans steal nature's pattern and start to create a whole branch of new patterns, like what I'm doing here. Never see this in nature. It doesn't exist. You can find something similar, but like I'm creating, artists create patterns that are inspired by nature, but they have complete arbitrarities, right? So this is an interesting thing that art can do, and complex living beings can do, especially the ones that has the, what we call, consciousness, right? Alright, so you see how much this can be hallucinating to be working with. So I've totally lose the sense of time here, passing time. So a good finding though. And I think that's it. So I'm not gonna bother anymore with this, though it is far from completed, ideally speaking. At some angles it looks like plants. Let's render, see if there's any. Yeah, no, that's quite good. Okay. Then if I gonna use the same technique, yeah, so I have to unwrap other parts. Yeah, so first of all, this which has got this cloak thing, I'm going to separate or not. Because here the UV unwrap on this image, yeah, you see where this is. These are completely, these are not unwrapped. This is another material. This doesn't matter. So, but this, okay, so not these UVs, but by material. So I have these seams. Here we have some things that we could consider. If this ever, yeah, we can try this. Okay, so let's create seams here, so all surrounding this. Yeah, so at this point I don't want to be looking at crease and sharps, so yeah, let's do this again. So here also, let's look at this in this way. Here, and that will be it. Control E, mark seam. Alright, and let's cut here also. Is that correct? Yeah, this is an easy place to cut. Mark seam, then we get this. Let's change this to cloth patterns and UV unwrap that here. So I'm gonna place it like here. Alright, can be here. I don't know what is that. Yeah, this we don't bother. This is the UV, so this we don't bother about these UVs there. This is just for this material, the cloth. So here also, here let's get, okay, we need this get some patterns going here maybe. So mark seam, then here we need all around here, here too, but we take this off. Here we have some limitations. Alright, this is doing this job, but okay, mark seam here. No, mark sharp, no, mark seam. And finally, this one will be a bit more tricky. Okay, this is looping around there. The top of the foot here. Okay, mark seam. Then where should I cut that? Maybe here. Is that enough? Or maybe here. Yeah, that might make more sense. Or would be easier to, Yeah, but then I'll lose this continuity here, or I could cut here too, but there is will be difficult too in this center. Then in the back here this is already cut, so except from the front, so here mark seam. It's okay there to cut in the front, so just here really. This will be, well, I think we got, is that seamed? I think it is, yeah. I think I've done this already, so as this unwraps open, yeah, this thing, okay. So this will unwrap flat, and here there is really one problem there, so maybe I just do this. Okay, the problem is it will be very hard to visualize all those stuff, and so this is mark seam, so oh yeah, I do one by one, right? So UV unwrap that. Okay, so this is the boot that goes, that can stay here. Then I pick this one, no, seam, UV unwrap, so this is this stuff can go here. So this is super arbitrary. But I think that's the way it is, right, folks? So just get to know what is what. So for the boots we have this stuff there. Yeah, maybe I get this and scale. This is just for the texture anyways. In the beginning I was, those kind of arbitrarities, yeah, actually those things really get me crazy, but actually they are, you just have to abstract that it's not like, yeah, it's just a strange technique. The software is doing already all the difficult part or automation part, so it's just a question of getting in the flow with that. So here I'm not sure where is top and bottom, but it doesn't really matter, right? And you have some other stuff there that are from another material, but I think that if we get that, use another UV, so this, I need to bear in mind that I'm just trying to do this for the white material, so it's like I'm never gonna retouch that. So here, yeah, so this is for this part, so I think this is can go here, it's a bottom part, and then maybe I'll need more space, right? This is another object, then we still have here some, yeah, so mark seam, mark seam, then if I pick this and L this, yeah, by seam, then UV unwrap. This is overdoing, right, folks? I shouldn't be unwrapping all this stuff just to get some the cloth pattern ever, but it's funny. So, to make those tests. Now that get some understanding. The problem is that if it happens that I have to remake some of this, and I'll probably be editing here, then I lose all these crazy patterns. So that's a sad part about this. Okay, so apparently there's just some remaining patterns. So we'll see what that will be looking like in the end. So here, mark seam, and what can I do here? This usually back and below. This is arbitrary, but this is what I'm using. And UV that. This is going to the top here. Actually, no, these are here. Okay, so there's just, oh, now I'm getting some materials here are too high. I'll have to do something about that. Scale down maybe. Yeah, I think it's enough space here. Then I get these. Maybe I can move this there. Then this is the last remaining. This and this, right? Mark seam. Same pattern here. Mark seam. This UV unwrap, and let's move this. Let's get this with this. Yeah, so I really don't know. Let's save here and let's try to texture paint those things, right, with our new technique. Not new old technique, right? So there, text. Oh yes, they need, no, the material is there, so okay. I should be able to paint on this, I guess, because I'm not an, okay, these objects are selected. I'm not sure what's happening, so, oh yeah, I need to be on texture paint here. Oh, okay, image editor, view paint. Okay, so if I were to yeah, so it is working. These materials are the same, right? So let's see if this is working. No, of course this object is not selected, but okay, select here. Let's do a mask just to avoid any mistake. Then if I get texture painting on with the mask, of course I think I need to select the object, right? I think that is the case, right? Then here, and mask. Yeah, I don't seem like it's painting the texture. Here it is, but not here. Maybe I need to be here. No. Yeah, so I don't understand. I should be painting on... because the material is the same here. Yes, it is. Something is missing. Okay, let's try one by one then. So here I have this, and this was there. Okay, and so okay, this is masked. Let's try to... looking strange, but that should be paintable, right? Oh, there we go. Okay, so finally. So let's do one by one, right? Yeah, so this stuff, I think here should be subtle, not the way I'm doing. So, oh, there are some issue there. Was not selected, right? Select seam, okay. There we go. So I'd start to go crazy like that with those strokes, and then eventually I'll just simplify that with the inverse, right? So that will be the workflow. So just get subtle patterns here. I hope that will be... yeah, I can paint on the opposite side. So the mirror here will be annoying for working on this part. But this is so simple that in this test that I'll just... okay. That's fine. No, that's not fine. Let's take off this masking. Let's try to do something wider. This is more likely. And let's see, can I just take off the mirror? Yeah. And then for the character too, for a moment. That is annoying. But necessary. Okay, here then. Yeah, some wavy texture like that, that should do the job. Yeah, I got... okay, let's try this. Here, actually, clean this a little more. Here there's too much. Alright, let's try this. Then here for the skirt, right? Oh, I forgot the skirt. Why the skirt is not even here? So I forgot to UV unwrap that. Alright, so there is the this and the back part here, yes, mark seam, and yes, this is the some UV that was lacking, and that will be here. Yeah, this will be a problem. It's overlapping with some other thing, I guess, or maybe not. Anyways, not masking this, just texture paint. There we go. So here, the long awaited thing. I really wanted to do that for a long time. Really want to solve this problem of and there you go. So easy now. Where can you go with there's a game in where the ending is like something you restore the gate, galaxy gate or universe gate of the worlds, and you're just some medieval fantasy adventurers, but you interact with demons or aliens with high tech and then you just ask, well, now that this thing is restored, where can you go with this contraption? Where? Anywhere you want, my friends, because if you can friends of the alien, because you saved the world and their spaceship, which was shipwrecked in the planet, right? What can you do with this new brush pattern, Gnomes? Well, what can you do? Anything. Just as an... yeah. The mirror, of course, sort of gets the thing a little annoying, right? In some cases. But there you go. Need pattern for clothes. There we go. This is the way to go. Next, yeah, just for these parts, I really think that was overdoing this. If you get patterns everywhere, eventually things might not be as interesting, right? So, darkest paints, no. So here, yes, some things, here's a good idea to mask, right? So I get this and this. No. Let's get this, just that. Texture paint, and let's try to do some... no, forgot the mask. Alright. So the idea will be to get those patterns. Also these boots here, let's get this turned off. Whatever, yeah. then we can invert and prepare the inversion here with yeah, and I think that looks good enough for this. Then the other could be here. Don't forget the mask. Turn on, yes. Let's redo a little this part here. Just like that, yeah. Then here I can cover both this and this, and I hope that will work. I don't know, the seams maybe. No, we can get a continuum. That's great. Ah, haha, look at that. I think there's a long time I didn't have any kind of fun like that in Blender. Yes, of course, this is very specialized, but it's very applicable as well, so um, yeah, the cool thing here is that there's no mirror modifier, right, that affects the single boot, a single boot. So this allows for more variations, asymmetry, right? And that could be good for the skirt. I don't know how to build those asymmetries if the UV is right. If the mesh is symmetric, I think it's not possible, or maybe possible with a very strange setup that I'm not really aware of. So how does that look? Looks like some military boots. Not exactly that, but you get the idea. The boots wasn't very successful. The fact that it's not symmetric, that of course got into this idea, right? So here I think I can try now with this. And I need to save this before I lose everything. Alright, and here this is not working for this piece for some reason. And let's just try on it. Now that it is working, so yeah, the idea for this were just some stuff like this. So this is what I think it's maybe overdoing details, right? And the last one. No. Okay, now it goes. And imagine, yeah, this can be clearly we can also add bump nodes, you know, all the maps that we want for differentiate, but I'm just going for very cheap stuff here. I mean, very simple. I don't want anything that will cause my animation setup to lag, or I don't have the best computers. But it could be cool to have, but other additional settings, right, to all this. But this is, for me, this is quite good enough, right? Just the image texture. And so there we go. I think this is for all the objects here, for the cloth. And it might be a bit chaotic, of course, but the fact is that this is the cloth pattern. Let's save here, Alt S, right? Then save the file, and yeah, then if I get all the objects, let's turn on the mirror simultaneously. So this is, yeah, this is good. The important thing is that I finally found a solution for these giving patterns to the class that is sort of, well, this is a solution for that class. I don't want to make patterns for other objects. So even that, this thing is overdoing. Maybe not on the boots. On the boots might be at least on this part. Maybe here it's overdoing. Here it's a bit overdoing. But I could easily change this by just swapping those materials. I could also reuse these patterns, the same here, because this is a non-color. It's using. I could reuse this for only those the other material that I'm using for that I would duplicate, for example, for that, and to have a different setup for these patterns. So, but I'm not gonna do it. So in principle, I've overdid a little just to practice a little more, but in principle I just wanted for this and this and the cloak, but the cloak, currently the cloak have a different material. But what if, okay, what if I get a cloth here? Currently is letter, right? So if I have this here and I make, oh, this is not bad. Actually, this might be a good idea. So let's try to get this pattern of its own. Yeah, that will be annoying. I don't have space. I don't know how to solve that, folks. More space in the, so first the, yeah, actually Shift H. So let's go on the, let's make a star here. Okay, so I have a shader here. The shader that I'm using is just an image texture, which I'm calling color patterns. It has got the non-color, and so this is it. This is the shirt. It is combining a lot of objects, so ignore the madness there, but only matters is the materials that, so this UV I unwrapped exactly there. It has a seam in the back here, and for this is just for, this is unnecessary because this material here, matte coat, doesn't rely on image texture, so it's only this matte cloth. And the matte cloth that serves for all these whites in the character and the clothes, then it is using these cloth patterns, a new image texture here, so that will go onto a color ramp in this strange pattern here that ends up doing this kind of madness. But it's not only that, this goes in color into a mixed shade of the effects. So this is a mask, I think that's how they call it, a mask socket, right? And this is just mixing. So on one hand I get a diffuse BSDF shader white, so this is the base, let's go on the tops, the base, and then there is another one that creates some sort of variated color. So you see this sort of bluish purplish, so this is, but this is being controlled by or sort of I don't really understand, but yeah, okay, if I inverse here we got this, so now the whites are suffering more, this something like that, so I'm not sure, but then this is, I want the patterns to be carried by this, and so they, for some reason they seem more affected here. So I can change this, and of course I can create more. So in the beginning I didn't have, so yeah, so this is why the white is in the middle. Yeah, so this is the pattern that I have for the painting. Anyway, so you paint that manually and it auto updates, and that is EV next is Blender 4.2. And then okay, so I started unwrap individual stuff, but now the cloak had a different material, and I'm just decided that let's try to make the cloak as cloth instead of this leather. But I'll have to UV this, and I don't have more space, so maybe I'll have to, yes, I have more space, but then maybe I'll have to, so UV unwrap this. I already got the seams. Oh, forgot one seam there. Maybe I can do something here, because no, this will, no, it loops around. No, that's it. So I think this can, I don't need any more seams here, so just get this to UV, actually seam, right? Ah, forgot, so let's seam this. It's taking too much space, hold on folks. So here, not taking this, then the other side is a solidify, so it doesn't matter, solidify modifier. Let's get this, then let's get here, and select this stuff. Let's check if, so okay, mark seam. So the other material doesn't matter, so yeah, I could seam that just for, but it's not necessary. So here I have this. Let's go back to the, yeah, I'll just work with that. So unwrap, and I need to place it now, just faces, right? Yeah, this is chaotic, the organization, but it's not chaotic, it's just like it could be much better. But the UV seems to be workable. Then I go here on the, so it's using this material here, which is the matte cloth, which contains the cloth pattern. So this is redistributing this to all the UV unwrapped that use the cloth material, this one. So right now I don't even need to mask, so I'm just gonna go on here. I don't know why it is being dark. I just clicked something wrong maybe. Yeah, I've hidden accidentally the lights, so some strange shapes there on the mesh. That doesn't matter. So well, I can solve this by doing some smoothing out. I think this is fine. Maybe a little more here. Proportional. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing this for. There are other objects that is dependent to these shapes here, so beside the body of the character herself. I think this is fine, so just fixed some strange shading elements here. Maybe I can also redistribute this just a little. Yes, push this more to the center, smooth this out. Okay, still not looking that good, that part, but okay. Strange, looks like there's a curve there which is annoying, so maybe it's getting this to pull down, be dragged down by gravity a little more. Alright, yeah, those shapes are very bad. But sincerely, I think this won't really affect the... I'm not working with the topology, right? So it's more the geometry here. So that should be safer for the... Okay, so I don't even need to mask that. That's the only object that I have selected, not using the mask here. So here I'm going to get the... what I was doing, screencast, yeah, just for the sake of this stuff. And let's paint here on that, and you'll see what will happen. No? Okay, here we go. So X to be swapping this. So this is the non-color thing, so I'm working with this, and I need the whites to start painting in white. And so here you see how the shapes will form, like automatically. So this is crazy. So I'm here just playing with this so in the center it might be a bit difficult from here, so let's try to build this from... no, I need here to go on actually shift F10 here. Maybe here I got... yeah, so this might be an easier way to get these shapes done there. Yeah, looks like we can do here too, but it might be a bit more difficult. So the cloak is really a perfect example of how to use this thing. It's a great didactic example of how this can be used to very good results. Yeah, then if we go in the crossing center, then this can become a little complicated, right? Yeah, so then we can do the opposite, right? With different and do this kind of crossing patterns. Whichever way. But sometimes we can end up destroying some interesting results, so we should be careful not to overdo, right? Yeah, this is looking really nice, and no, not this. Let's maintain that. Here we can make some more cuts into that. Let's save this again, save. And then as we approach the bottom, we can go back to this these crossings here, just that which sort of existed in the top in a different way. Well, they are sort of everywhere, but and here we can go back and get some, yeah, this crossing in the middle usually is complicated. And these patterns, they sort of overlap because of the way this shader is done, so it offers interesting results even if we start combining them, right? So I find it difficult to work properly with the mirroring, but very often it's also provide good results. I'm very intrigued by these dark shapes there that often occur, but I'm not aware exactly how to control them yet. I'm not sure if it is how am I achieving them. Is that too much or too little painting? I think it's when I go too fast, so it's like when I have very low strain. Yeah, there we go. And here I'm failing to obtain interesting results because the strain is too low and I cannot get the flow that I want. So yeah, so there's a certain amount of pressure, and yeah, because here I'm working on the shader, right? We could work in here too, but this is I think it's very bad to visualize the final result. So this is much more funny, right? Attractive. Yeah, this is crazy. Look at this. That's really, really nice. Whatever that is, this is good, really good patterns. And here we can get some connections, I don't know, in the center. Yeah, then just let's try to make some cuts here. No, not this one. so this is the middle part where sometimes it's better to do this on the here, directly here, right? So because here we don't suffer from the mirroring thing directly. So is there anything here that so I'm using a graphic palette to do this. It is better for the radius here, variation, right? No, I didn't like those. So let's segment the string. Let's take smaller. All right. So anything else? Maybe some cut. This is really good. This looks like it was drawn like grayscale with pencil. Alright folks, so I'm going to conclude this. We got enough here. Settings, save file, and let's also take off the star here. So there's a highlight from this stream. Rarely I do that in a productive way. Yeah, the problem is that with the solidify this will affect both sides, but maybe it's not terrible, right? Maybe it's not a terrible idea. I don't know, but this is a good solution. Actually, I prefer the distinct and the sort of, yeah, not totally, but I could try to get the same material. Yeah, let's try to play here a trick. So if this mesh was unwrapped there. So if I get this to become leather, this is the original, it loses this, right? However, if I go back to the cloth and I get this setup, Control C, and then I go to the leather and I do a Control V. So here we have the edge shading here. For some reason I'm gonna cut that. So all I need is this mix shader, and maybe here I disconnect this. Let's try, yeah, without this first. Okay, so sort of get, I'm not sure if it gets exactly, that's why I wanted the edge shader. Yeah, the edge shader is better here, but it doesn't have FAC, so okay, we see the shapes there, but it's hard to see. However, if I get now this into the effect. Let's see. Okay, so you have these patterns here, glossy, not exactly as leather, so it's like maybe I can, this is another, is another material, so I can change this, of course. But we see that is not very, it's interesting, yeah, it's more interesting, but I've lost the, certainly more interesting than before, but I need to figure out, let's try to change something here. Oh, I see. Okay, the materials are too close one to the other, so I just need perhaps to yeah, no, something like that, right? Change their, differentiate them, right? So this is a sort of a copper color, can be shinier. Yes, this is very interesting. Not sure that the colors that will do best for the character here, but at least we are trying something. Yeah, so let's move the roughness up to here, right? That is nice. Then here the color ramp of this, there's a noise texture. This is nearly disappearing, but this is for some shapes there. It's mixing, so it should be everywhere, but yeah. So let's see what I have here. This noise texture. Yeah, so this affects everything. Okay, so it's very subtle details of some, I don't know, leather patterns there or woody patterns, I don't know, but not the pattern that I draw here, but these ones, right? Crossing. Yeah, that can be very sub, so I'm not even sure this is a great idea, but this at least, yeah, this combination, this is much better cloak, I think. It combines those two things. Let's see again what happens if I just do that. No, this is too boring. So the mix shader, first comes the base, and then comes the glossy, which is this pattern. So I don't need that anymore. So we got a major upgrade there, and this is the cloth patterns there. Alright, anything else I can do here? Yes, I can probably still change this stuff. Yeah, leave this somewhere here. Maybe I can try to add another one. I don't know. Let's try here. No, let's just leave as it was. Maybe just some change in the positioning, but yeah, no, not this. This is good enough to play with, and here we just leave it very close. Let's see what the Let's also see some change here. Cardinal, no. Is in principle linear, no. B-spline, this is smoother, but no. Then constant, certainly not. It does well for this material. This kind of, now it's too sharp. It's interesting, but it's too sharp. So ease is the in between. I think this is the best. So that's it, folks. So just got it is improved, and this is a new setting. So there we go. Let's go for the, oh, forgot here to resume the modifier. Yeah, so because of this, it's a bit overdone. I just think that these three objects deserve that. This material here is really bad here, so let's see. Time to get to do something about this, right? Synthetic, yeah, this is not working anyhow. Let's see some procedural one. So this is coat. This doesn't really give, well, it is dark. In principle this should be a shining material, but I don't really have, yeah, let's see. I have metal, which I don't think it makes sense for the cloak. Yeah, it's not shining well enough. Also, maybe something with emission, this velvet thing. Not terrible, but doesn't seem to it's not a ugly combination, but no, it's not enough. Okay, I'm not sure about this. Anyways, then no leather here, no cloak. So yeah, in the end, maybe the coat was the only thing remaining. So at least it doesn't interfere too much. So that's a good thing for now. And that will be it, folks. So here we can go back to the normal layout, and if I look this at look dev, well, we don't see the texture for some reason. Oh yeah, because there are a lot of shading, so procedural stuff, so that's why it doesn't work, these patterns. Unless I get they go directly on some, yeah, so the eyes here, I think this, yeah, let's take the same approach, let's see what happens. So if I go to the shading here for the eyes, you'll notice that there is this thing here. So this is for the procedural, right? And I don't know why this is not conflicting, right? But actually, yeah, so if I take this off, no. Okay, so what's going on here? I've lost my, I'm on EV. Okay, so I have no idea what's going on here. This is the procedural for the eyes, and it should be doing its job here. Oh, it's doing, okay. So it looks like Blender is confused about the EV workbench. Now workbench is working, okay. So there's a mistake there. However, if I delete this, then the workbench fails, but not the EV. And so this is I need to leave a texture like open like that, so I really don't got this, but that's, even if it's not connected, then I need to join here. Okay, let's get to the here. So let's do the same thing, I guess. Clone pattern, Shift D, and no. Well, RBG maybe. No. Yeah. So go figure. Well, there are different settings there. Let's take a look. So here, closest flat extend single image. Closest flat extend single. Closest. Oh, linear. Okay. Closest flat extend single image. Then RBG straight. RBG straight and all. Yes, all. Yeah, so I have no idea. So it just doesn't work. But if I get this like here, that should work. No, not working. Texture. It should take the texture itself, right? But it doesn't recognize it like as a shader. Oh, it wants the, no, okay. Ah, there we go. So this is the render, but this is EV, so this is not what I, yeah. So no, it has nothing to do with leaving this open. At least not for this, for, yeah, so for the IS, but not for this. So I have no idea, folks. Okay, let's not save this work here and load this. And yeah, so I was testing this out, so EV, and now we go back here on layout and we get this. Okay, so this finished this step of unwrap clothes, only patterns one, seam, textures, shirt, skirt, cloak. Yeah, we did more than that, so but that is done, and this was done in the 7 August. Now it's 8 August. Okay. We'll be back tomorrow to I'll be back tomorrow to complete yeah, improve the model sheet low polygonization cartoonish style on the mesh. I'll try to not touch the mesh topology, just so this is just some small adjustments. I hope this won't disrupt these textures. Maybe by chance, but I think it will still work in the end, provided don't mess up with the topology. I hope I won't need to, but if I need to, the cloths don't use the body. Oh yes, I need to text. This is another texture paint for the body. Yes, so first fix the face body mesh topology. This is texture paint retakes of the skin. Yeah, And then this is the problematic of the gloves that are swappable, like not extra mesh but just as changing the UV map and the image texture or whatever, the shader, the material. So that's it, folks. So thanks for watching. Happy blending. See ya tomorrow or any other day. I'll be there during the weekdays. See ya, folks.